next part of the plan is the sales plan. So don't know that if everybody understands this, but sales isn't selling a $1,000 car for $2,000. It's also not about just running out banging on doors. You gotta start the year with a plan. You need to know where you're going to win business. We need to know where we can win business, what we need to do in order to win business. There's a lot of business to be had out there. Rico's going to tell us how we're going to get it.
Good morning, guys. I didn't introduce myself earlier, so I'm Rico Petrini, Vice President of Sales for Service West. First thing, this is, I think, my best sales tool right here. I had Myron take a picture of all you guys. It's impressive to look out on this room and see close to 200 guys in uniform that show up this early ready to work and are interested in their future. So thank you for coming out. Like Mark said, when he showed the picture of my Uncle Vinny selling cars, we're not selling a product. We are supporting, a vision of our clients and what they are going to be living in and their culture and their environment. So every time you guys go out and you do an installation, you're leaving a legacy for them and what they're going to be living and experiencing and working in for years to come. So think about that when you're out there, that we don't sell power tools, we don't sell the cars. You guys are the front line for us. So this company, as good as any of us are on the sales team, we are only as good as what you guys perform in the field. And fortunately, in my experience here, you guys have been incredible. So it makes my job very easy, so thank you. We're doing these tours in Sacramento and in Southern Cal as well. Really though, this is the most important one to me because 75% of our business still comes out of the Bay Area. So you guys are the backbone of Service West. We will go where you guys go and where you take us. So I hope after I'm done today, you guys will have some direction and some idea of what I see as some potential opportunities for us. And hopefully you guys will think about how you can improve your skill sets to work on those opportunities and get deeper into what we've got to come. Now all of you, if you look in your folder, you've got a copy of the value proposition. So keep this handy. I'm sure Mark will have bounties for guys that have in their wallet like he's done in the past. But this does really demonstrate what we're all about. And in our business, when it's not always about price, what we're selling is the value. And more importantly, we're selling trust. The customer has to believe that you guys are going to perform for them, that you're going to deliver on time, that you're going to show up, that you're going to be professional. And more importantly, with that trust comes relationships. When you sell off relationship and not off bottom feeding like our competition does, then you create a long-term career for yourself and a long-term company. And we've done a good job of that. This business has been around for 30 years. I don't expect it to go anywhere anytime soon. And in fact, we're building momentum. So, that's the key is the trust element and making people believe in you and showing them through execution. Now, in the last year, looking back, dealer business was about 60% of our total sales. So, using the analogy Betsy had with the pie, it's still the bulk of our business here. What was interesting out of that when I looked at the numbers, out of our top 20 dealers that we work with this year, 6 of them were brand new, meaning we had never had touches with them before. So that business accounted for almost 10% growth alone. So those are people that, in my opinion, what that tells me is that your reputation and your quality is getting out there. That people from either other markets or that haven't had touches with us before are willing to give you guys a chance because they see or they hear the quality that you guys put out. So again, that was an impressive stat to me that we have that volume of new customers. We need to continue to build on that, and there's more out there. There's network business, there's dealers that we still haven't broken in with, but that should give you guys the confidence to know that anybody you go out to, you can win the business. Now for 14, we've gone around and started making tours with the dealers. The good news is based on what they're telling us, this year is going to be a lot better than the last 4 we've been dealing with. Most of the dealers we've talked about are expecting at the minimum 20% growth and some as high as 30 to 40. Directly translates to us is our work is about 10% of their sales. So that tells you kind of what they set aside for the installation budget. So if we've got that kind of growth, then naturally we should be growing with them as well. So that's a positive trend on the dealer side. Now, when I first came to Service West 7 years ago, this business was about 85 to 90% dealer work. And with the last economy turn, nobody was buying furniture, and the dealers fell off about 30 or 40%. So one of the things I'm excited about with us is the diversity that we're expanding into coming into this next year. There's 3 sectors in particular that I'm excited about, and some of you guys have probably already been on some of these projects, and we've got a lot more to follow. The first sector is hospitality. We have made great strides in hospitality. We've always kind of dabbled in it, but it's never been a core business for us. We've done a project here or there. In the end of this last year, the last quarter, we brought on Brett Stewart. Brett, would you mind standing up? So Brett is now heading our hospitality group, and with Brett coming on board, he was already an established leader in the market. He now brings that expertise to Service West, and you guys are executing in the field. And the results are already happening. We went from hospitality work being about 1% of our business to, in this 4th quarter, we've already got 40 men booked for 3 months, is what it equates to man hours. So you can see that's a pretty big jump. So we're excited about that. Brett's got some other projects I'll talk about later that are coming down the line. But Brett made the move here because it gave him the size and scale to do bigger things. And he also knew that we had the skill set guys to do those things. So all of us are dependent on each other. So you guys keep doing what you're doing out there with that work, and we'll keep growing it. We're now considered probably the #1 in the market from being a non-player. So that's impressive just in a quarter of doing this work. So 14's looking extremely optimistic. For healthcare, this is the largest projects put out by the Business Journal. It's top 25 projects in California. On this, about 50% of them are healthcare. When I run through this list, we're on every project or bidding projects on this list, with the exception of one that we lost. And it's the only one we've lost in healthcare, and it was because it was decided strictly on price, not on competency. Especially on high dollar hospital equipment, it's not going to be about dollars. They want to know their stuff doesn't get broken, that their patients get in on time. See, that's a game changer. All modular, AIS, they aren't doing this stuff. So they're sticking with the dealer model. We've branched out. It's a difference. It's keeping you guys working. A lot of guys in here can definitely say that in this last quarter in particular, it's kept you working. So another area that we're excited about. For Kaiser, as I mentioned, we've got 5 upcoming projects through till September, major hospital projects that we'll be doing for them. So that's just with Kaiser alone. The last, sorry, I just looked at my notes here. Got a lot of Clifton facts for you guys. Couple projects real quick that just represented our ability over this last year. The Groton Casino. Those of you that went out there, thank you. That project ended up being over 50% under. 0 damage. Deanna spearheaded this with her project management. I literally, after the first pre-install meeting, I don't believe I had to ever speak to her again about what the scope was of the requirements. So I was kind of happy about that. The great thing about this is the client stations casinos. We had tried to work with them 3 years ago on Thunder Valley and Roseville, and they deemed us not having enough experience or competency or coverage to be able to do that work. So the fact that here, just 3 years later, we've scaled up and we performed flawlessly, that was very impressive. So it's something we can build on. I already talked about the Kaiser SMOB. That came out 58% under, and was, again, another challenging project. Now the third piece to this is the wall work. This is another area that we will see a lot of growth this year. You guys that were on the Ross project, 10,000 lineal feet, comes out to about 3,300 lineal feet a month. That put us in position that some of you guys got on the job training because we were a little short-staffed. But the reality is now is we've got 40 guys that are wall men, which makes us the largest on the West Coast. There's fast-track projects coming up. GCs can't cover. No other installer can cover. People are coming to us. We've got one project we're bidding right now, Google, that 3 of the 4 came to us because we're the only ones with the size to do it, and the capability, and the proven track record. Nobody has a resume that can do that. So, you know, for the future here, we've always talked about feet and lineal walls. You know, I think this year will be the year that we talk about miles of lineal walls. So, it's that much of a jump.
Beat hours on it too.
So, and you guys beat hours. So learning on the job and still performing is amazing. So that gives us another avenue to grow the business. As I said, you know, our competition doesn't have this skill set. They're stuck in the model and where we were 5 or 6 years ago, where they're just happy and content supporting dealer business. Dealer business is important. It'll always be a core part of what we do. But by jumping into these other business segments, it'll keep continuity for your work. We won't have the peaks and valleys. So it's important that each of you guys take it on yourself. If you want to make this a career, you learn, you ask the questions, you get out there and become proficient. Don't just be happy being an installer. Be a healthcare expert. Be a hospitality, be a hotel expert, an installer for the hotel work. You know, learn all of these skill sets. They're all here for you. You will have the opportunity here. And, you know, markets come and go. You know, as Mark said, his own dad started in furniture and then realized the sales side and the installation was where it was at. There will always be a need for installers. So you guys, the more you branch out, the more you'll be working and the more we'll find work for you. Last thing I wanted to talk about, which will get you guys thinking about it, is what we've got for big wins coming up. We just heard about the potential of a job, Synapsis. It's 1,500 workstations. Looks like we've got that one. We're getting confirmation this morning, which we'll report in the Gazette, but that's a great job that we starting here in the Bay Area. We have a confidentiality agreement on another one, so I can't talk about it, but we are taking a bite out of the largest corporate headquarters project in U.S. history. So any of you that are fruit guys can figure that one out. I didn't say it. So that project is another wall project that we could be talking miles of wall. It's impressive. So we look to be the front runner on that. We're bidding with several partners, and that looks very positive for us. Brett just heard we're doing a kickoff meeting this morning for the Hyatt Regency, 500 rooms. The rooms on average are about 10 man hours a room, so that gives you an idea of the size and the crew that will be needed for that. So there's another example of a hospitality project that has jumped on the radar. We're also in negotiation for the Ritz-Carlton in San Francisco and in Half Moon Bay. And then another example is for healthcare. We won UCSF Mission Bay. So we'll be doing all the storage and then all the delivery of the FF&E and backfill. And that project is the largest hospital project in San Francisco city history. So again, another one to put feather in our cap, nobody can match up to. So think about it, think about your part in, you know, shaping that around you. For me, I'm pretty proud to be able to drive around and look at the projects we've been on and the size and know that at that moment in time, you know, we came through and we did that. And we all work together to create it. So installation is our legacy. You know, that's what you'll leave behind. Your kids will see these projects. So take pride like you do in your work. Mark talked about all of us being salespeople. If you look in the green folders, we've got rack cards in there. What this is a little handout piece. This is something that just gives a quick overview. So if you want to talk about Service West, you want to share what we can do, and maybe don't know all the talking points, this is something that you can hand out. If you're working on a dealer project, make sure you put it through the dealer. Don't maybe pass it out to their end user unless they give you the okay. But this is some of the upsell. You know, this talks about some of the great furniture touch-up work. Brett, I think, booked 1,000 hours on one of his projects of touch-up work just by upselling it, saying, hey, we can do this too. A lot of people still ask me, wow, you guys can do moving? You know, they don't know that. That complements the installation. So I encourage you guys to carry these and pass them out when you're on projects, especially if you guys that have relationships with some of your end users that really look to you to give them advice. Okay? Remember, all of you guys are salespeople, and I have 5 people on my sales team. There's 200 salespeople right here. If you guys go out on your 2 or 3 projects a day and mention the other services we can do for them, the customers, look at how many other opportunities we create. All right, so thank you for all being here. Thanks for your efforts out there. Again, you make mine and my team's job easy, and we look forward to putting more work for you.